Ms. Vito, you're supposed to be some kind of expert in automobiles, is that correct? Is that correct?
Will you please answer the counselor's question?
No, I hate him.
Your Honor, may I have permission to treat Ms. Vito as a hostile witness?
You think I'm hostile? Now wait till you see me tonight.
Do you two know each other?
Yeah, she's my fiancée.
Well, that would certainly explain the hostility.
Your Honor, I object to this witness. Improper foundation. I'm not aware of this person's qualifications. I'd like to voir dire this witness as to the extent of her expertise.
Granted. Mr. Trotter, you may proceed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Ms. Vito, what's your current profession?
I'm an out-of-work hairdresser.
Out-of-work hairdresser. Now, in what way does that qualify you as an expert in automobiles?
It doesn't.
Well, in what way are you qualified?
Well, my father was a mechanic. His father was a mechanic. My mother's father was a mechanic. My 3 brothers are mechanics. 4 uncles on my father's side are mechanics.
Ms. Vito, your family's obviously qualified. But, have you ever worked as a mechanic?
Yeah, in my father's garage, yeah.
As a mechanic? What you do in your father's garage?
Tune-ups, oil changes, brake relining, engine rebuilds, rebuild some trannies, rear ends.
Okay. But does being an ex-mechanic necessarily qualify you as being an expert on tire marks?
No. Thank you. Goodbye.
Sit down and stay there until you're told to leave.
Your Honor, Ms. Vito's expertise is in general automotive knowledge. It is in this area that her testimony will be applicable. Now, if Mr. Trotter wishes to voir dire a witness as to the extent of her expertise in this area, I'm sure he's gonna be more than satisfied.
Okay.
All right. Now, Ms. Vito, being an expert on general automotive knowledge, can you tell me what would the correct ignition timing be on a 1955 Bel Air Chevrolet with a 327 cubic inch engine and a 4-barrel carburetor?
It's a bullshit question.
Does that mean that you can't answer it?
It's a bullshit question. It's impossible to answer.
Impossible because you don't know the answer.
Nobody could answer that question.
Your Honor, I move to disqualify Ms. Vito as an expert witness.
Can you answer the question?
No, it is a trick question.
Why is it a trick question?
Watch this.
Because Chevy didn't make a 327 in 55. The 327 didn't come out till 62. And it wasn't offered in the Bel Air with a 4-barrel carb till 64. However, in 1964, the correct ignition timing would be 4 degrees before top dead center.
Well, she's acceptable, Your Honor.
Your Honor, this is a picture taken by my fiancée outside the sack of suds. We agree on this?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'd like to submit this picture of the tire tracks as evidence.
Mr. Trotter?
No objection, Your Honor.
Ms. Vito, did you take this picture?
You know I did.
And what is this picture of?
You know what it's of.
Ms. Vito, it has been argued by me, the defense, that 2 sets of guys met up at the sack of suds at the same time, driving identical metallic mint green 1964 Buick Skylark convertibles. Now, can you tell us by what you see in this picture if the defense's case holds water? Ms. Vito, please answer the question. Does the defense's case hold water?
No, The defense is wrong.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
How could you be so sure?
Because there is no way that these tire marks were made by a 64 Buick Skylark. These marks were made by a 1963 Pontiac Tempest.
Objection, Your Honor. Can we clarify to the court whether the witness is stating opinion or fact?
This is your opinion?
It's a fact.
I find it hard to believe that this kind of information could be ascertained simply by looking at a picture.
Would you like me to explain?
I would love to hear this.
So would I.
The car that made these two equal-length tire marks had positive traction. You can't make those marks without positive traction, which was not available on the 64 Buick Skylark.
And why not? What is positive traction?
It's a limited slip differential which distributes power equally to both the right and left tires. The 64 Skylark had a regular differential, which anyone who's been stuck in the mud in Alabama knows. You step on the gas, one tire spins, the other tire does nothing.
That's right.
Is that it?
No, there's more. You see, when the left tire mark goes up on the curb and the right tire mark stays flat and even, well, the 64 Skylark had a solid rear axle. So when the left tire would go up on the curb, the right tire would tilt out and ride along its edge. But that didn't happen here. The tire mark stayed flat and even. This car had an independent rear suspension. Now, in the 60s, there were only two other cars made in America that had positive traction and independent rear suspension and enough power to make these marks. One was the Corvette, which could never be confused with the Buick Skylark. The other had the same body length, height, width, weight, wheelbase, and wheel track as the 64 Skylark, and that was the 1963 Pontiac Tempest.
And because both cars were made by GM, were both cars available in metallic mint green paint?
They were.
Thank you, Ms. Vito. No more questions. Thank you very, very much. You've been a lovely, lovely witness.
Keep it together, Titans. I've got an ace up my sleeve. I've seen enough courtroom drama movies to know juries don't care about facts. They just want a good show. And that's what I am going to give them.
How are you gonna put on a show, bro?
Can you do a New York accent?
What's it to you?
And do you know anything about cars?
Yeah, my grandfather was a mechanic. My two uncles were mechanics, and my father was a mechanic before he became an interdimensional demon.
Great. Just follow my lead.
So, Robin, are you ready to confess to your crimes?
Never. Your Honor, I'd like to call one last witness. Raven. Ms. Raven, can you tell me what this is?
It's a 1971 Skyhawk.
Don't forget the accent.
Oh. It's a 1971 Skyhawk.
And is there any way that this car made these tire marks?
Absolutely not.
I find it hard to believe you can know that just by looking at these pictures.
Would you like me to explain?
Ooh, I would love to hear this.
Objection. This is irrelevant.
Overruled. I'd like to see where this is going.
There's no way a 1971 Skyhawk made those tire marks. See how they're uniform and flat?
How could you tell all that just by looking at a picture?
Who cares? The jury is eating this up. Look at the chemistry. This is entertainment.
Only one other car had the same body, weight, and wheelbase as the Skyhawk, and that was the Enfield Hurricane.
Oh, yeah!
Thank you, Raven. No more questions.
Oh!